Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halayim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who taught us the truth. Honors and salutations to all sincere Akim, throughout the four corners of the earth, laboring in honesty, sincerity, charity, and sound doctrine. To the Akwati men and children that believe on the true names of the Father and the Son. If the Father's name is Yahweh, he exists. The Son's name is Yahweh Shai because he's the deliverer. Because he's the deliverer. He's going to deliver us out of this captivity that we're in. And to the dead in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai because they shall arise first. My name is Ma'aka Allah Bun Gad Bun Yashar Allah. Here with the Watchman Philadelphia camp here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I'm about to do another lesson. Lord's one is edifying and it makes sense to you. But as Salakia. But as you can see from on the title of the video, it says Esau's a straight up liar, man. And I came across this article. Basically, put Esau back out there, man. Because they liars, man, They lie about everything. And their lies are being exposed right now, So, without further ado, I'm going to hop right into this article. But it says, docs prove Bush, Obama, and Trump all lied. Sent troops to die in Afghanistan for no reason. All right? And that's the mentality of Esau, man. That's what they do. They'll send you out there to die for their own reasoning, man. It has nothing to do with anything, man. They tell you that they're fighting. We're fighting for the troops are fighting for freedom and all that. That was a lie, man. That Esau told. On top of was Aaron Russo did a video a while back. It was a sit down basically with David Rockefeller before he passed away, man, and he was talking about how that they was going to create a war on terror and nobody would know who the enemy was and all that, So hey, Esau's a straight up liar, man, But let's read the article. It says, to those who have been paying attention, it is no secret that the U.S. government has been lying to its citizens for centuries. From granting the power to coin money to the private Federal Reserve, to the war on terror, to the endless wars spawned by the war on terror. All right, because you know that war is money. All right, it says, by the war on terror, the United States government should change its official language from English to lie. That's funny, man. They should, man. Esau's a bunch of liars, man. It says on Monday, these lies were released in the form of documents obtained by the WAPO, which proves a vast conspiracy by United States government officials to deceive the American people into thinking the war in Afghanistan was winnable. Now look at that, man. You see that? It says for them to deceive the people into thinking that the war in Afghanistan was winnable. And what's the devil, man? That's why we call these Edomites, the devil that the Bible speaks of, man, because they're the great deceivers, man. They go around deceiving the whole earth. All right, it says by the United States. All right, let's keep going. It says, spoiler alert, every single one of the insiders in D.C. knew without a doubt that it was not but have been lying to you. Without a doubt that it was not but have been lying to you. All right, so they've been lying. That's how I remember this comedian made a joke, you know what I'm saying, talking about, yo, it's been lying. No, he said, you've been lying. And America been lying to the public. It says after hijack is supported by Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, now that's heavy, man. Saudi Arabia, what? That's going to be the battle with Jehoshaphat, man. Yahweh Shaphat, and that's where all this stuff going to take place in the desert out there. And America has a lot of bases out there, you know. But anyway, it says after hijackers supported by Saudi Arabia attacked the United States on 9/11, which that was a damn lie. The U.S. waged a relentless, unforgiving, violent, and unwinnable war in Afghanistan. Since the beginning of the war, the Afghans have been slaughtered. The country has been a hotbed for terrorists. They've drastically increased heroin production, and this year the U.S. was found to have killed more people than the terrorists we are ostensibly fighting. It says the once beautiful nation has been turned into a pit of rubble by years of bombing and war. And the U.S. taxpayer has funded all of it, and it was Salakia. It says, and it has only gotten worse. So, hey, man, not only are they lying to you and bombing these people, they making you pay for it. You know what I'm saying? With your tax money. So these people are damn devils, man. That's why, this man has to be brought out of power and the whole earth is mourning because of this guy, man. These people, man. All right, it says, for the last several decades, the U.S. government has openly funded, supported, and armed various terrorist networks throughout the world to forward an agenda of destabilization and proxy war. All right, so America, they talk about ISIS and all that. That's America's funding them, and those ISIS was created by who? The Americans, man. And that's all the plan from who? The Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and all that, to bring certain places down. But ultimately, what? America's going to be brought down. It's going to be brought low, and it's already happening. It's already beginning to be brought low. Via what? The credit score is already low. That happened years ago, So this place, man, and all these other nations, man, they mad right now. They hate America, man, for the things that it's doing to their places, man. It says America arms bad guys. The situation has gotten so overtly corrupt that the government admitted in May the Pentagon asked Congress for funding to reimburse terrorists for their transportation and other expenses seriously. So now check this out. Not only did that, like it says, America creates its own enemies, man. And then they come to the people and have y'all believing, that it's really people out here that's coming against this place, which they are. But ultimately, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah, he's going to bring this place down. All right. But it says, since the beginning of violence, matter of fact, and these people, so it goes back to the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and all that. And the oldest money around is the Eimenheiser's money. So it goes back that far. But these people been funding both sides of the war since Alexander the Greek. So these people, they know who they are, man. They know their bloodlines and all that. And they're still doing the same thing. And that's what? To be a devil, be a deceiver. Job 9:24, so I'll bring that out a lot. But it says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, man. And I got some scriptures lined up after I read this article. I'm going to bring them out. It says, since the beginning of the violence, the American people have been told that this war in Afghanistan, which is slaughtering innocent women and children, but it tells in the scriptures who perished ever being innocent, is to protect their freedom. All right, so they're telling you that, like I said earlier, they're telling you that it's protecting your freedom, but you already free to do whatever you want. Over here in America and these other places, those are the places that they actually, they buckle down on stuff. You can't be no homosexual over in other these places. They basically go by the, you could say, to an extent, they go by like what we go by, the Israelites, man. You know, they like the what you got, the Ishmaelites, they don't eat pork, crab, shrimp, all that over there, I believe. You know, they like if you steal from somebody, they got that eye for an eye and all that. You know, the women can't drive, they got the women in subjection and all that. But America goes around doing what, man? Lying and through their policies, man, and everything they got the people trying to make them democracies and all that, basically. All right. It says, in reality, however, this war has made Americans less free by creating an assembly line of terrorist and police state measures ensuring a vicious cycle of rights violations and attacks for generations to come. All of the bloodshed, death, terrorism, loss of liberty, limbless veterans, PTSD, heroin epidemics, and trillions in taxpayer dollars wasted have been the product of politicians lying to you. Wow, that's crazy. It says every data point about American events, Salaka, American efforts, there was altered to present the best picture possible. According to Bob Crowley, an army colonial, and former senior counterinsurgency advisor to the military commander in Afghanistan, as quoted in the documents, surveys, for instance, were totally unreliable, but reinforced that everything we were doing was right and we became a self-licking ice cream cone. These people are sick, man. It says we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't have the foggiest notion of what we were undertaking, confessed Douglas Lute, Afghan War Caesar under Bush II and Obama back in 2015. Jeffrey Eagers, a former Navy SEAL and a staffer for the Bush II and Obama administrations, asked, "What did we get for this $1 trillion effort?" The answer to the question is nothing, or rather, more accurately, death, suffering, and terror. And America's about to face that themselves, man. Cause you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and what's that? Esau's blessing is the sword, man. You know, going to the book of Genesis, the 27th chapter, roughly about the 40th verse. It says, not that I'm gonna bring that out, cause it tells you Esau's blessing is the sword. You know, so you gotta live. But whatever he wants to do, he has to take with force, man. You know, and their sword is what the one of the major swords is the military. Among, they got their tanks and everything like that. That's a form of a sword. It's a weapon. All right. It says that let's go. It says while the WAPO has been less than ethical when it comes to their sources, these documents showing the vast conspiracy of likes knitted by every warmongering liar in D.C. since Bush II was the result of a 3-year battle and multiple Freedom and Information Act requests. It says one of the most damning admissions in the report was for Michael Flynn, the Director of Intelligence for the Internal Security Assistance Force in Afghanistan from June 2009 to October 2010, who would later serve briefly as Donald Trump's national security advisor before leaving the post in disgrace. See that, man? These people, like, they can't keep nobody for them, man. You know? He left in disgrace. Why? Because he knew what it was. It says, for a while, the operational successes on a daily basis might have made me feel good, but after 2006, for me, it was actually irrelevant because we were just killing so many people, and it wasn't making any difference at all. Flynn told his questionnaires. So they know what's going on, man. They was killing people for no reason. So you like Esau, that's what he has to do, man, to take over things, live by that sword. So his gift was his blessing was a gift and a curse. All right. It says commanders and policy makers on the spectrum of news, they want always to be good. Good news. Operational commanders, State Department policymakers, and Department of Defense policymakers are going to be inherently rosy in their assessments. They will be unaccepting of hard hitting intelligence. Flynn pointed out that this problem wasn't just a few key players deceiving their rulers in D.C. The lies were widespread, literally everyone. This was true for every commander. They all said when they left, they accomplished the mission. Every single commander. Not one commander is going to leave Afghanistan or Iraq or any place. Not one is going to leave and say, you know what, we didn't accomplish our mission. So the next guy that shows up finds it screwed up. They do their mission analysis. Once they are on the ground and then they come back and go, man, this is really bad. All right, it says, from ambassador down to the low level, they all say we are doing a great job. Of course, because they don't want you to know they're getting their ass kicked, or whatever, man. It says, really, so if we were all doing a great job, why does it feel like we are losing? There is a corruption in reporting, and not just corruption in the theft that occurred, that also includes from the State Department. There is no way that over the years, to include this year, 2015, that we can say things are wonderful. It says when the blowhards, including Bush, Obama, and Trump, took the pulpits, they told us that they would be pulling out the troops, yet all of them have maintained a presence knowing full well that the only thing it was accomplishing was death. And I believe that it's a scripture that says Esau is like death, man, because that's all they about. All right, it says, hold on, let me get this real quick. It says because politicians were hell bent on weaving this web of lies, thousands of American troops lost their lives. Tens of thousands of troops have been maimed, disabled, and permanently disfigured, and hundreds of thousands of innocent Afghan men, women, and children slaughtered for what? It says tragically, this is perpetual wars. This perpetual war has apparently become so ingrained in American society that no one pays attention to the wholesale slaughter of innocent, such less the fact that they've been being deceived by every president since this. Oh my gosh, man. Salakia. Let me get that back. Give me 1 second. All right, Salakia. They've been being deceived by every president since its inception. All right, it says we finally have a smoking gun showing that there was absolutely no way to win a war in Afghanistan. These warmongers knew it for decades. They all lied to us and continue to kill troops and civilians. And no one even cares. This news that Americans have been lied to for nearly 2 decades that cost trillions, killed hundreds and thousands, and ruined countless other lives should have been on the front page of every newspaper in the country. Instead, after this news was released, interest in Afghanistan actually went down to a 12-month low. All right, hold on. Let's keep going. It says, alternatively, after it, after it would be proven that the warmongers in D.C. have been lying to us for decades in the war for profit. The front page, see now it says for profit. So Esau likes to heap money into themselves, man. All right, it says for profit. The front page of most papers is news of the impeachment. Americans have been so brainwashed into the two-party divide that they are more concerned with accusations of political favors than they are about a vast conspiracy against them, which has caused immeasurable pain and suffering on a global scale. Congratulations, America. You've successfully been on Orwell novel. It says films, football, beer, and above all, gambling filled up the horizon of their minds to keep them in control. To keep them in control was not difficult. Damn. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they're doing to you, man. You know? And these devils, man, they know. They keep that smoke screen up. All right? That's why the Lord set up his men, man, to what? To break through the barriers, break through the lies of these people, man. All right? So let's grab the scriptures real quick. Just bear with me. All right, the first scripture I want to bring out, man, because Esau, man, is a damn liar, man. Okay? So this is Psalm chapter 58. Oh, goodness, man. Bear with me. This is Psalm chapter 58. Whenever this freaking phone in 3. But matter of fact, I'm going to Job first. It's the book of Job.